Hi, my name is Saisha. I'm an MPH student. So for my practicum internship, I decided to do it with GPPA, which is the Grenada Planned Parenthood Association. So the point of this internship was to really highlight ways we can improve sexual health, reproductive rights in Grenada and creating a policy and procedure for it, specifically for adolescents. Sexual health has always been a passionate topic of mine, especially because we live in a society where adolescents are approached or actually given wide variety of topics on sexual health, but no one really gives quite guidance on it, especially in other countries such as Grenada. So I was really interested in to see what is the policy and procedure for if an adolescent in Grenada wants to obtain these services, and how are they easily accessible. Some of the challenges with this internship was trying to really understand from an adolescent's point of view, especially in Grenada. So, a big part of our project was meeting with the other team members and trying to get a view of their experience. Because we weren't there physically in person, it was a little bit harder to understand, certain nuances of culture or how certain infrastructure may not be accessible for adolescents to use. There was also information on how some schools are very strict on what sexual health education that they give. So it was very hard to know all of that information unless you're consistently talking with the Grenada community members, or any of the health providers, or in the area to get a further grasp on that. The second thing was, me and my partner, we worked primarily through virtually. So while we were friends outside of it, having to coordinate, what our deadline is and also work with the GPPA's deadline, it's sometimes a little bit difficult to know what how to get the feedback, especially through Google Docs. But I think with any challenge, it's important to set clear expectations, ask multiple questions. So anytime we felt like we didn't really know how to approach a certain aspect of the document, all the members were easily accessible. Even if I could just highlight a certain sentence in Google Doc and ask it as a question, I got a response pretty rapidly. While this was a lot of bit of trial and error going back and forth, I think once you got into the groove of it, it made things a lot easier. In terms of this internship experience, obviously I'm pursuing a field in internal medicine, but with that being said, there is a good chunk of it that has to do with combination of different topics. So whether that be like cardiology, pulmonology, but part of that also includes women's health and sexual health as well. So I think this will give me a better view on how can we approach these type of topics more sensitively, and even understand how cultural context is a big kind of big context to understand when giving your own recommendations. And I think combining that MPH knowledge, with the MD knowledge is very vital to tackle this head on. And I think even just sexual health is something that we can all benefit from education wise. So I think this practicum has really just highlighted how to approach such topics, especially with the adolescents, and see what works and what doesn't work. And at the end of the day, we're here to cultivate, the next generation's mindset on things. So I'm glad that this internship has taught me a lot about that. Thank you.